And on trade, I have decided, for purposes of fairness, that I will charge a reciprocal tariff, meaning whatever countries charge the United States of America,
that seems fair.
We will charge them, no more, no less. In other words, they charge us a tax or tariff, and we charge them the exact same tax or tariff. Very simple.
Very simple.
Nobody knows what that number is unless you go by the individual country. You can see what it is if you go to the individual country and you look at what they're charging us. In almost all cases, they're charging us vastly more than we charge them, but those days are over.
Again, I am not in love with tariffs. This is going to cause some pain. It will. I mean, he admitted yesterday it could make prices rise. Well, it's going to. It will make prices rise. So, can we ride that out? Are we willing to just stick with this and see if it brings along some concessions from other countries? I guess that's what we're about to see.
And it will, right? I mean, I hope. Obviously, that's what he's banking on.
Yeah. That is my hope, is that this is just negotiating, because he's counting on the fact that everybody else is going to drop tariffs and we'll just go free trade, which would be nice. All right, you just compete in our marketplace, we'll compete in yours. Okay, fair and square. Let's see if you can outdo American products without, assessing a 20% tariff on everything we send to you. There was more on these reciprocal tariffs with National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett.
One of the things that we noticed, sir, when you asked us to look into the numbers was that last year, U.S. companies paid foreign governments $370 billion in tax. And then we in the U.S. Asked them to pay us tax for what they did, and the U.S. gathered $57 billion. And so we paid them $370 billion, and they paid us $57 billion. And when people say, oh, you're doing this tariff thing, how could you do that? Why would you do that? It's so unfair. Let's think about this. They have 3/4 of world GDP. We have 1/4 of world GDP, and we're paying them $370 billion, and they're paying us $57 billion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trump's not going to do that.
No, and this is something he's always
he's not going to
been committed to.
If he's not on the right side of those numbers, forget it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Then Trump shut down Kaitlan Collins from CNN.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please. Right?
Excuse me. We haven't asked you to speak yet, please.
Why are you speaking?
I'm still showing off the order I just signed.
Yeah.
Did he ever get back to her?
Take a look at this Gulf of America map.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, he does not like her.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like anybody from CNN.
I mean, he's been in office for 3.5 weeks, and there's several times now that he's called her out.
Yeah, one time she asked something, and he said something about that even you could do it. Not saying something.
Yep.
Okay.
And here's what the president said about our very close, dear, and personal friend Mitch McConnell after the Republican senator from Kentucky once again voted against one of his nominees.
RFK Jr. as the next health secretary, citing conspiracy theories. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I feel sorry for Mitch. And I was one of the people that led. He wanted to go to the end, and he wanted to stay leader. He's not equipped mentally. He wasn't equipped 10 years ago mentally, in my opinion. He'd let the Republican Party go to hell. If I didn't come along, the Republican Party wouldn't even exist right now.
Accurate.
Mitch McConnell never really had it. He had an ability to raise money because of his position as leader, which anybody could do. You could do it even. And that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot.
But the fact is that he raised money and he gave a lot of money to senators. And so he had a little loyalty based on the fact that as leader you could raise a lot of money. Senators would call me and they say, he wants to give me 25 million. Can I take it? I'd say, take the money. Take the money. But he engendered a certain amount of, I don't even call it loyalty. He, was able to get votes. But I was the one that got him to drop out of the leadership position, so he can't love me. But he's not voting against Bobby. He's voting against me, but that's all right. He endorsed me. You know, do you know that Mitch endorsed me, right?
Well, he did.
You think that was easy? What?
He had polio, obviously, and his.
I don't know. I don't know anything about. He had polio. He had polio.
When he was a kid? I mean, recently? Pause it for a second. Are we talking recently? Like last week he had polio?
I love the fact that,
That
they
explains
try
the
to make
wheelchair.
him feel bad that he had polio because it's always handicapped, and he always had he's got one leg, I think,
Are
shorter
we really
than the
going
other.
back 80 years?
Well, that's down. I don't know nothing about polio.
for a polio reference? Come on.
Well, she's trying to, talk about vaccines here, and how dare? And this is why he didn't vote for RFK. She's trying to give an out to Mitch.
Incredible. All right, let him finish.
I have no idea if he had polio. All I can tell you about him is that he shouldn't have been leader. He knows that. He voted
knows
against Bobby. He votes against almost everything now. He's a very bitter guy.
Yeah.
And we have a very strong party. And he's almost not even really a very powerful member. I'd say he's not he's lost his power. And it's affected his vote. And, it's one of those things. But in the meantime, Bobby did great, got more votes than anybody thought. And I think he's going to do just phenomenally in that position. And everybody else likewise did well. Not only well, they got more votes than anybody thought. Tulsi, look at how she did. She did great.
She did.
Yeah.
She did great. She's been confirmed. So, all right.